Hello and welcome back to Songs of Six. In the last episode, or the first one, we established our village. We have some industry up in the north, the throne room, some basic road infrastructure, it's not really filled in yet, and a town square which is growing, as well as a little pasture, some housing, and a few fields, and a fisherman hut, or fishery. Now, what I will start off by doing this episode is adding a crate for fish storage, as we do have a fishery, but the fishery has no place to put the fish. That's why it started to overflow here. So now that we have a place to store fish, our food production is looking a bit scary. Right now we have 2 days worth of food, and we are shredding through the food, I must say so. So I think for now I will work on food security. Now, if you see the farms, you can see that we have different types of farms. Some are not unlocked yet, they need to be researched. But fruit and vegetables are a very good source of food. But we don't have any, so how can we plant them? Well, if we zoom out, we should be able to see on the map. There is a huge deposit down here of natural occurring fruit. So if we go on the forage option, we should be able to harvest some of this fruit. And once it is late summer, we will be able to get the fruit, and then we'll be able to plant it. And that'll be another source of food for our village. We can assign a crate to the food, and that leaves our warehouse fully assigned. We will need a new one, or upgrade the current one if we want to store more stuff. But now, along with research, what we need a way to start refining the metal, which we surprisingly, I think we start with. So, oh, quick little save. If we go into a mine, an ore mine, and the closest patch of ore is across the river. There's quite a few patches by the mountains. If I look over here. Oh, but that is quite far, and our people don't have housing there, so I think I'll go for this patch here, which is the nearest to our settlement. But for that, some infrastructure needs to be planned. Well, we do have a road going somewhat near to the ore deposit. We will need to carve through the mountain. So, actually, there is a slight path going up here into the ore. But we will need some sort of settlement here, just to keep the people from starving as they make the journey, which is probably the biggest challenge. Alright, and we did start cloth production or fabric, so we can actually give our people fabric. If I click the plus, if I actually manage to hit it, and now if we look at their little homes, they should get bed sheets now. Once they actually go and get the fabric. There you go, this guy's got a little rug. And eventually, once they do grab enough, because like this house has grabbed 9 out of 15, I do believe they'll get bed sheets of some sort. But I might not be remembering it correctly. But yeah, now our fish has been moved into the stockpile, giving us slightly more food security. It's not much, but it's honest work. So if we continue infrastructure, we could carve out a flight road like that, connecting straight into that, or into the pre-generated paths, and that goes up here, where we will need another road. About 1, 2, 3. I just like making my roads 5 wide. And then I just took a screenshot on accident. Mountain. Dig into mountain. Well, I could use the predetermined path. I don't think that would be super efficient. So carving the mountain is what I will go ahead with. straight into the iron deposit. And this is going to be a lot of work for the town. So if I grab a little hearth, just in case it turns winter and they are working over here, they won't freeze to death. Well, it's a little well. Just to give them a few basic necessities while they are working on this. And for that, we will need a lot more laborers, as I doubt 7 people will be able to do the job anytime soon. And we do have 25 aspiring immigrants, which is probably too much for our current town to take in. However, I would take 10 more people in, which need to be housed. So 2 new houses. That's perfect. Be built. And we have become a Prontix, which gives us access to military stuff, which is kind of scary because now other nations will be eyeing up our little town. And it has given us access to slavery, which I will not be using because I don't really feel the need of it. There we go, those people have their brand new homes cut out, and now we have 17 laborers. However, food is looking extremely scarce. And while on the topic of food, we did manage to harvest the fruits, which we can now plant. So if we go for a fruit farm, fruit orchards grow more, but they're a bit more unreliable, and they need some time to get going. So a fruit farm will do the trick. We go with just a little bit of shrink in here. I'll include that tile, and we can actually get probably a few more rows down just to get the work. It's just under 3. That is perfect. And a slaver has arrived. No thank you. Now everything's looking pretty good. More immigrants do want to come, however we can't feed you guys right now. Well, I will expand the plaza area. Just like that, followed by a main road, which can actually be hit like that. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Top that off there. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Just some basic infrastructure. Now, humans aren't really fans of dirt roads. They only like them 10%. However, it's better than no road. If I check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that might be a slight problem. That's too big by 1 square, which will annoy me, but that's life. I checked the farm. Okay, they're clearing it out. It's perfectly fine. And we are only living off fish and fruits now, which could be a problem. Therefore, the grain harvest needs to kick in very soon. And on that note, I will probably plant one more grain farm. Starving it's not fun. Personally, I've never experienced it, and I'm quite glad. My heart goes out to all of those who have experienced it. And a few more rows. Oh, we just about can't fit this one in, however, if I go for something like that. There we go. That should do the trick. That's another grain farm going. Now, on the topic of food, our pasture only has 2 animals. So they do need to replicate or duplicate or mate or breed. Until we get more than 2, well, ideally 45 is the goal amount. And it might take them quite a while as we only produce 0.01 animal per day. That means we need about 100 days for a brand new animal to kick in. But the more we have, the quicker it goes. It's kind of like a steam engine. Oh, and the grain harvest has just kicked in, which is great. A good catch. And fisheries are making 3 times the amount of fish, which is beautiful. And the fruit farm is officially working. However, we do need a brand new warehouse. Our stocks are overfilling or overflowing. I do want to make this one larger this time. Go for something like that, along with crates would probably... We go for a single crate layout here, and then a double here, and then another double, and one more double should do the trick. And then if we put a doorway up here, we could actually do a doorway onto the plaza through here. That is the brand new warehouse. And one of the main things I will store here is more food. Now if we put it on the little AI worker mode, two boxes of grains and 2 boxes of fruits should do the trick. And I'll put 2 on vegetables, as I do want to find vegetables. And also, now that we have harvested this area down here, we can cancel the order to harvest the natural occurring fruit, just because we don't need it. And the only vegetables I can see are down here. So if we go for forage, get them all. Farms are progressing. And since food security is probably guaranteed by now, I should build some more houses. The road is progressing nicely. We're going to start digging into the mountain soon, which once decorated will look quite nice. And with all these new farms we've built, our workforce has declined. So I'm going to do a huge step forward and approve up to 90 immigrants. There should be 15 more people which we are constructing their houses for currently. And now, one of the things we will need to work on is in the refinery section. Never mind, it was in the crafting section. It is the tailor. Unless I already put one down. Oh, that's why I wasn't making anything. We were using leather instead of our fabric, leading in us making no clothing, which is a big problem. But now that we've actually put it on fabric, we should be able to make clothing. And we are getting hit by something called degradation, which, as you can see, our buildings look very dirty and roughed up on the inside. That is because they have degraded, making them work. For example, this one, 83.2%. It works 83.2% slower now. So, a simple fix is just something called a janitor. And it's quite a small and cheap building. Actually, I want to lay out a little bit more infrastructure. Just like that. And then if I put a janitor up here, just to match with the 6x6 buildings, I will put... No, we don't need too many janitors, so we will be able to expand this later on. For now, it will make 5. Oh, I did forget about utilities, which we need quite a few of, actually. This should do the trick, and if we ever need more janitors in the future, we can just add more into this building. Now that is built, we should see the AI is choosing, and it's determined that we need 2 janitors, and they should come up in this building, which is very degraded by now, 94%. And as soon as they can, they'll start fixing it, which our production will start increasing rapidly. Once they have fixed it, there we go. Now we're back to making 3 furniture instead of 1. And our bakery's back to making a good amount of food, which I have noticed is looking incredibly scarce. But with the fruit farm and the new grain farm, we should be good. And we still do not have a third animal, which is quite a shame, as the meat being produced is quite mediocre right now. If we look up here, they have started excavating the mountain, which is pretty huge. That means we should be able to get to ore refining very soon. And once my plan is, once we do get that ore, since we have a huge abundance of it, we should be able to export it out of the town to import other goods which we don't have as much of. And that is the current plan. Now the vegetable harvest, well, the wild patch has just been harvested, so we can remove the order here and start a brand new vegetable farm, which we have gone down quite a bit, but I might start going up now. Just avoid the little area I set up for the fishery. Great if the lake was not frozen over, then I'll actually be able to see where the land actually is. But it's quite even terrain. There we go, that's pretty much perfect. Just cut out these squares here, that one there, and bam, brand new vegetable field. And I might actually expand the road system all the way to the farms, which lines up coincidentally very nicely with the fishery, which I wasn't actually expecting, to be honest, but I am not complaining. And we do have a bunch of grain. Stores are pretty much full, so the bread should be flowing. There we go, brand new vegetable farm up and running. One more source of food to make sure we don't starve, and we do have a bunch of people here digging away at the mountain. Great. It's only on 2 animals, but it is what it is. Now, a basic necessity that we are yet to provide to our people is the access to bathrooms, which they do need. I will not deny that. So if we expand the housing blocks down here, along with a road, T3, boom, with another road coming down here. And then while it might be a little bit stretched, this is the area I'm going to dedicate to the laboratory. And half of it will be bathrooms. That is way more than enough basins. If I get rid of that, get rid of that. I just do that. And then will this amount of basins suffice? It will. And a door here and a door down here for ease of access. And now our people should have bathrooms, which will make them more happier. See it all like popping into existence is very satisfying. And I was wondering, do we have enough space for a stage, which we don't actually have unlocked yet, but I don't believe it's a very expensive technology. Never mind, no. It should still be, that's an upgrade for the stage. Why can we not get a stage? Tech entertainment. Let's have a little look. Entertainment, here you go. It's only 4. And we actually do have space for a stage, and it is nice and even, which is a bonus on a bonus. So our people should build a stage now, just a basic one for now. And we do have some people, 8 people. That is a lot of workforce. I don't believe we need all of that workforce on the stage. So we'll fire half the people on it. And they should just be doing a little bit of some shows with some random stuff. That just breathes even more life into the village. And once this has progressed, which the progress, I won't lie, is kind of slow. But there's not much they can do about it. Get him hauling grain into the storage area with a little cart. Now we do have 11 grand, which we have been slowly losing money due to inflation, which is kind of unfortunate. But what I do want is with one of our neighbors, ideally the biggest one, which might be inverting for now. We strike up a trade deal with inverting. What I really want is this here, trade. Because this means merchants from their lands will come to our lands and buy whatever we have to sell and sell whatever we need. However, this is nowhere near enough. We need to give them 69,000 money worth of stuff, and we have 11 grand. Which is a big problem. And even if we gave them, per se, all of our grain, that will only get us 600 coins. So we can't do much until we do actually get the production of iron going. So the only thing I can do right now is plan out the settlement. Now, pottery, quite important for humans. Other races don't really care about it, and we do actually have a clay deposit right here. Although it is tiny, it should be able to get the job done. It does stretch into the river a little bit. Although this little area here is 10 workers already. Just already too many that I'm willing to dedicate for clay mining. So I won't use the entire deposit. However, I will get auxiliaries up. Just like that. And clay mining should be established. And with that, we could get a pottery, which uses this type of workbench, which fits in perfectly, along with a little storage and an auxiliary station with a door, which I put on the right end. Yep, doorway. And that should be pottery in the making, which is good. We do need a bunch of furniture for the pottery to actually, or the clay pit mine to actually be formed. So we might need to skip time a little bit. And while we're at it, we have 15 houses available, and we are in a workforce shortage. So I will approve up to 100 immigrants, which will bring 10 new people in. Now, immigrants aren't the only way to get new population. There is something called a nursery, which the image is kind of unsettling, as it's just a grown human image in like a cot. But the way this functions is you need fruits, and children will be born. However, the second you run out of fruits and your child hasn't eaten for about a day, they will starve and die. And that's just not sustainable for us, which we are barely living on with the low amounts of food we do actually have. So unfortunately, immigrants are the only way for us for now to grow. Now, We could start automating wood, but I don't really consider that a priority right now. Religion is very interesting in this game, as there are 4 main religions, and they all offer slightly different benefits. We go into the religion tab. We have 39 humans, which are part of the Amimonism. Probably butchered that horrendously. 24 Aetherianisms, which is basically farming and food production. No, actually, this is just production in general. This one is pastures and farming. The Praetorianism. And Shmalarism is raid security. So you could call that like kind of like the war god, the farming god, the god of craftsmen, and submission. So I'm guessing the pacifist god probably. But as of right now, I do not really require any sort of religion for the town. However, if we go on road, if you get a road that humans do enjoy, which you need to find something that's fairly cheap. Paved roads are quite liked by humans. Shaped roads are very liked by humans. But that requires the tech architecture 2 to 4, which is this one up here. Which we can actually get. We get paved roads followed by shaped roads. If we do get a shaped road, 80% favorability with the humans, and it does give a 20% speed boost, and it's quite a durable road at 80% compared to dirt, which is 20% durability. We can start paving some stuff, as we do have a bunch of stone from excavating the mountain. So if I pave the main roads for now of the settlement, that one's not really in use there. We'll go for this one as well. Now it costs about 500 stone and quite a bit of workforce. However, the change will be quite dramatic. It's already looking a lot better, and our people are walking quite a bit quicker. Now eventually when we do get well upgrades, or the fancy well, it'll stop being a dirt backdrop on it. Same with the hearth and same with the speaker. But we still have, even after all that, we have our stockpiles are still full of stone. Therefore, I will probably pave every main road. For the plazas, I am waiting to unlock the actual specified plazas. So they'll probably remain dirt for now, as I don't really want to be digging up paved road that I've paved quite recently. That's all getting nice, and I don't know, it just looks pretty, I will not lie. It's way better than the dirt. Now that's done, we do actually need torches, as if we look on the humans and services, they like benches, they like hearths, they like torches if I can find them. It should just be called lighting or torches. If we go, oh here we go, environment. Lighting. Right now, it's quite dark for them. So if we do get some torches along the main roads, it will make them a lot happier. The reason I do my roads five wide is so I can put like benches and trees in the middle lane, which does actually fit quite nicely. I don't like this light here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. That's not fit, unfortunately. If we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do 6 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot count. I take that back. There we go. And we do actually have to repave where we planned the torches, as the pavement did get deleted. This should add some more lighting to the town. And how is the mountain looking? Is a great question. Not much work to go. Mostly has been excavated. And I will need to consider how to haul the ore from up there to down here. However, there is something called a hauler, which can do the job for us, which is fine. Grain stocks are overflowing, and we have 2 times more grain than is being used by bakeries, so that means we need 1 more baker in order to keep up with production. You put that there, a little oven at the top, along with a auxiliary oven and a storage, which can be like that, with 2 doors. That is going to employ 5 more people, I believe. 3. That's fine. And we do actually have 5 spare houses, so 105. Welcome to the town. And we have lost... There is someone contemplating a raid on me, which is quite scary. They only have 5 soldiers. However, against our army of nothing, 5 is quite the amount. Now to combat this, a little training ground to start training some basic forces. Nothing too great. And I might have overestimated the size that we need on this. If I just trim that down quite a bit. Oh, something like that. That is fine. And archery, how much research do we need for archery? 5. Not a problem. We just need 1 more lab. And I'll make it all the way up here. We have a big station, followed by a few smaller stations, and this should be a lot more research than we will need for a long time, as we'll employ 28 workers. We should only even have half of that. So I think the only suitable thing to do is approving 15 more immigrants up to 120. Get a few more houses. Now, in my opinion, I should keep expanding to the right, to the east. Just to make it look nicer. As to the left, we do have the pasture, which I'll probably need to end up moving anyway. But this should be enough to house the people. And the lab is being built, however we do need a ton of furniture for it. Has the clay mine been dug out? It has. And I do believe we have been making pottery this entire time. So if I assign a crate to clay, or 2, actually 1 should do the trick. And about 2 to pottery, that should give us a bunch of... Yeah, we have been making pots this entire time. Well, we still don't have much. I shall give the people... I mean, they don't even need that many pots. Actually, 234 is quite the amount of pots. I'll give them access to a little bit of pottery. And I'll tone down on the fabric, as we are not producing nowhere near enough. I will add about 2 more crates of cotton, as I doubt that we're storing it all. And now people should have little pots in their house if we look closely, and once they do actually get pottery. They only have 1 unit of pottery. Surely there is a house that has more than 1 unit. There's 2 in here. They might need more. Can't offer them much more though. But yeah, the houses are slowly starting to shape up. And the training ground needs a bunch of furniture. The one thing we are severely lacking on. Is there a better recipe? No, not quite yet. We will probably just need another carpenter and a slaver. No, thank you. There we go. That's a brand new lab which has taken up so many workers that I'm just going to half the amount that it can hold. Followed by one more crate for bread as we are overflowing. And finally we can get archery, which might be more sustainable than a training ground right now, since we don't have any equipment we can actually provide to any soldiers that we get. This is a decently sized archery range. Along with, we need a bowyer now. Just someone that makes bows. Which is 10 points of research, which we should be able to hit with the lab. If we just let time flow a little bit. And we are way more than fine now for food. Grain just keeps flowing. The gods have forsaken us apparently. Which could be a problem, but we have so much crops stocked up that it's not even going to affect us. Do any of these guys have pots yet? Please. They might need more pottery, unfortunately. But now that we do have the 10 points of research, fletching or bowyer unlocked, it's just even more industry. We are running out of places to put all this industry. I'm lying, the map is quite large, but we do want it to look somewhat organized. And for that we need 2 metal, which currently don't really have a way of making. But luckily for us, we can always import anything we need. So if we assign a crate to metal, and as you can see, our money has pretty much halved. 15 days ago and 2 years ago we had 12,000. Now we're down to 6,000 just due to inflation. But if we go to inverting demand, where is your iron ore? Way too much. How much for 10? I might invest all of our money, since we're gonna lose it to inflation anyway, into iron ore. Okay, that is not a fair deal. Hold on. I'll give you 20 bars of iron, and in exchange you get all my money, which is a very fair deal. For them, not for me. And now that we have this iron, it does unfortunately decay, I believe. Oh, friendly travelers, and they have shared some food with our village, making us more happy. Way more immigration, and we have our food spores at half the rate, which is great. Only for a little while, but how many immigrants are actually trying to join? 44. That is a huge amount. And to be honest, we could actually feed some more people. So if I go to housing, just a few more houses. Get 15 more. 1, 2, 1, 3, 5. Which is approved all of them on accident, but it's fine. And now they need leather to make bows. It's not a problem. Oh, we do actually have a 3rd animal now, which is huge. And we do need the storage for eggs, as eggs will be slowly produced. But the way we can get leather is a hunter. Now, a hunter, contradictory to what you might think, thinking, oh, they might hunt the animals on the map. they actually hunt animals off the map, and there is a soft limit to them. So past a certain point, you don't get any more resources. And the best way to build one of these hunters is by the edge of the map. So if I mark that as too far away, luckily we have built near enough to the edge. I can probably just put him in our town and it will be fine. So we go for that. Butcher table. And this is quite a fun, stupidly shaped thing. Which I don't actually know how to fit this in here. Let's we go for something like that. Along with some efficiency upgrades. Fortunately, it's not going to look very good. But that's probably the best way I could fit it in there. Straight on top of a stone deposit, meaning we'll have too much stone, which we do anyway. And food is bread, should I say, is overflowing again, so one more crate for bread. Now the hunters, which we have 4 of, are going to go out, and we only need them to make leather. So they'll bring back a carcass to the huntery, and they'll butcher it on the spot and make leather. Now we actually need someone to store the leather, so 1 more crate, or 2 more crates for leather. Eventually, we are making 4 leather per unit of production, which is going straight into bows, which we also need to store. And if we look down here, actually the bows went straight into the archery range. And now whatever free people we have, or people not doing anything, we have some people here in the training grounds, which I will probably manually remake the divisions because the automatic ones aren't the best. So we want a division of humans with a probably we want about 20 soldiers, and we want them to be archers, and we want their training to be about 50%, which is quite high. A little bit of melee training so they can hold their own, even though they'll only have bows. And we'll call this the archery division. How creative, I know. And now we should have some of the archers training their melee to 10%, and once they've got it to 10%, or if the training ground is full, then they'll go here and practice their archery. If we look at the progress, they are... Oh, another drought. Great. If we look at the progress, we have some bows already for them to field. Their training is going, which I'm not going to lie, I have forgotten how to check their training, and I've just realized that we have no food. But that problem will be solved in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed seeing the town grow with the new roads and the new farms, and we have actually dug through with the iron mine in the next episode, hopefully. So yeah, that's about it from me. Thank you very much for watching. As always, more videos coming soon. And make sure to join my Discord in the description if you want to say hello to me or anything like that. Bye bye.